running the municipality. Does any committee member wish to declare a conflict of interest in any of the two variances we're being requested for today? The answer being no. Any oral or written submissions received in advance of the meeting will be verbally read aloud at the time of the application is considered. And did we have any, have there been any? Okay. All persons who have pre-registered have an opportunity to present or ask questions of the proposals. Direct all your questions and comments to the chair. Each registered person will have up to 5 minutes to provide comments or ask questions. Once finished speaking, the meeting host will mute their microphone. That would be Adam. Please state your name in relation to the application prior to speaking. So the first thing we have to do is adopt the minutes from the last meeting, which I need a mover and a seconder for being resolved the minutes from the Committee of Adjustment meeting on February 14th, 2024 be adopted. Moved by Barry Boyce. Seconded by Gerald Walker. All in favor? Motion is carried. So we can open with
She's joining right now.
so the first variance that we're dealing with is from roll number 12-00085914 Hunter and Goshchok. So it's a request to permit a lot to have a minimum lot frontage of 56.5 meters or 185.3 feet, as opposed to the required minimum of 60 meters or 196 feet. And a lot to have a minimum lot area of 62.3 or 6283.5 square meters or 1.55 acres, as opposed to the required minimum of 8,000 square meters or 1.977 acres. So I think we have to acknowledge that this particular property has been subject to a previous variance approval, right? So can we?
This application is a condition of application for consent, so it has gone through a planning review process at both the municipal level and the county level. And it
Okay.
was approved by both.
So is this gentleman live here? Carla, is she live?
Yep. Good morning.
Good morning. Hmm?
No picture.
Sorry, couldn't see where the camera portion was.
So
Oh, there we go.
There you are. There you are.
there
Hey,
you-
sorry, good morning.
So maybe you can bring us up to date on your request and we'll carry on from there.
Okay, so I'm just speaking from the notes that my husband gave me because he's at work. So we were asking to have the lot severed as when we purchased this property. I guess it was severed once before. And when we bought it, they had put it as into one, from my understanding. And so we're just asking for the lot that 1.5 acres with 198 road feet footage. And the reason the foot of the road is only 198 because the 200 would have to make us move our driveway over and would affect the hydro pole. So if we keep it at the 198 road footage, it would prevent any of that movement there. All right. And so the lot survey was completed and it shows a request that it could hold its own well, septic, and residence without any issues as well. And then the other point is the rest of the street, they only have 75 feet of road footage and under 1 acre of property for portions of the street.
So is that changing, is that first request changing anything we did before? Well, the second one, I don't think it was asked for at the time.
No, sorry, other neighbors, they only have 75 feet of road footage and only 1 acre, where we have 1.5 acres and the 198 road foot frontage.
Go ahead, Jared.
So I would, don't have any concerns with this application. Reviewed it and I don't see any problem with it. So I would make a motion that we grant the easement as requested, or the variance, sorry, as requested.
I'll second that.
Second that.
Yeah.
Any-
And I'm in favor of that also.
You're in favor as well, Chris?
Correct.
So both variances? Correct? What's that?
I'm gonna read out the condition. Is
Okay,
that right? Okay, so notice of the minor variance was circulated as required by regulation on February 27th, 2024. No comments have been received to date. However, should the committee decide to grant the requested variance, the following condition would be appropriate. This variance applies to a vacant lot as shown generally on the property sketch dated October 12th, 2023 and attached to the decision. Any encroachment beyond the variance granted herein will require a further application for a minor variance. Just the one condition.
so, you interested in a site visit or anything? You don't need it? Okay, we're good to go then. And be it resolved, the committee's decision with respect to file D13 MV 2023-034 be recorded as follows. A variance to section 5.2 to permit a lot to have a minimum lot frontage of 56.5 meters or 185.3 feet, as opposed to required 60 meters or 196.8 feet. Okay. Carried. Variance to section 5.2 to permit a lot to have a minimum lot area of 6283.5 square meters or 1.55 acres, as opposed to required minimum of 8,000 square meters or 1.977 acres. Granted, it's carried. You're good to go.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. There is an appeal period, 20 days, so don't start building anything tomorrow.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Yep. Have a good day.
thank you very much. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6.
Steve, could you unmute your mic to make sure it works and your camera?
Let's see in the group here.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you.
Can you see me?
Not yet. Oh, there we
There we
go.
go.
Okay, you can start it off and tell us what you're looking for and how we can help you, and we'll carry on the discussion from there.
Okay, I applied for a variance there a couple of years ago, haven't had a chance to get started on this build. And then realized that I made a mistake in the variance by moving it, and then was not under the understanding that I needed one for the private cabin as well. So Adam has helped me out with that, and now we are in line for what we need.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, Chris Bishop here. I went up and had a site visit, lovely drive up to Harcourt and a lovely property you've got there. The question I had on the previous, you stated that you needed to have access, the building had to be where it was so you could have access to your septic. And so right now, what you're asking for is you'd have 21 feet between the garage and the house. And
Correct.
So my question and looking at it all is there not an opportunity to move it off the front and the side road allowance at all? Like, before you were only gonna have, I think it was a much smaller space between the two houses. Now you've got more. You've got 21 feet. Would it be an opportunity to say, move it over 6 feet? Then you'd have 15 feet to drive to access the septic?
Well, what I didn't realize is that I have to put up a retaining wall there to get my frost protection for my Bigfoots for the covered porch is where we've run into some issues.
Sorry,
Okay.
where's the covered porch then? Where am I?
On the side of the cottage. So I guess it would be the south side there. So there's a slight bank there now, but I need to put up a retaining wall and then have it filled, which is gonna cut into that area.
Do you have a description or a map of where the retaining wall is gonna go to come up with a better distance?
No, no,
You haven't.
I will
done-
need at least, I want to come out at least 5 feet to cover, to have my frost protection there.
How far are your piers from your foundation of the house?
10 feet.
And so you need to come up 5 feet from that.
Yeah.
So the 21 feet that's on this plan, that's 21 feet to the house. That doesn't include the space you need for the retaining wall.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little confusing because we just, that doesn't show on the diagram here. What, that we didn't know anything about that, so that's a bit more confusing. Do we want to suggest that we go and have a site visit on this and see what's going on, since there were a lot of variances granted in the past, and now there's a change coming to them? Do we want to go and do a site visit? Any comments on that?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think it would clarify,
1, 2, 3,
clear a lot of
4,
stuff
5,
up if we did.
1,
yes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 variances, so. Are you available at some point for, if we appear for a site visit, is there any possibility of meeting you there
Of course, anytime.
anytime?
Yeah, I can make any time work.
So make a, if someone makes a motion that the decision will be deferred based on a site visit, and we'll carry on from there. Jeff?
And I was just gonna suggest that, so the next meeting is April 10th. Did we want to set a date for that site inspection? So between now and April 10th, we'll have to attend to his site. But you can make a decision first, and then we can set a site inspection date.
We got lots of time, so. So
Is-
best thing would be to find out if we get Adam to set the whole thing up, or we will get some date. So Adam will be in touch with you. And the decision today is going to be that the application is going to be deferred based on a site visit. And so
Okay.
Adam will be in touch with you, and then we'll appear there and go through this with you and see what we can work out. Is that fair enough?
Sounds good. I was hoping to get started. As soon as half loads
Well,
came off, but it
it'll
doesn't look
be-
like that's gonna happen.
Well, it's got to be before April 10th, so that's when the next meeting is. You don't have to
Okay.
reapply or anything else, so.
Yeah, but then there's still the 20-day
Mhm.
before it gets granted, and then before I apply for a building permit, I want to make sure this is granted. So it's just push some things back a bit, but it is what it is.
You got to have the horse hooked before you can get out of the barn, that's right.
This is correct.
Well, we'll do our best to get there as soon as we can. How's that?
Sounds great.
And he'll be in touch with you once we talk about it here, when we can go, and we'll carry on from there.
Okay, appreciate it.
Okay? So do I have to read all these out?
No, you can just defer them all. Sorry.
So
You can defer them all at once.
I need a mover and a seconder.
I'll move that we defer this to a site visit.
We don't have anything on here that we can do that either.
Right there, that one. You got it right in your hand, to your left, right there.
Eh? Too much paper here. So it's been moved and seconded that the variances requested, which are in number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, be deferred based on a site visit. And I need a mover and a seconder to do that. Moved by Barry Boyce. I needed a different. It's okay? Okay, seconded by Gerald Walker. All in favor of that? Okay, so Adam will be in touch with you in the next day or so, and we'll decide when we can go, and hopefully you can be there at the same time and we'll get this thing sorted out.
Sounds
Fair.
good.
Okay, we're good to go.
All right. Thank you very much, guys.
Okay. Everybody doesn't have to sign that, you just have to sign it.
Let's adjourn the meeting.
So, we should probably talk away for 15 or 20 minutes.
Don, adjourn the meeting.
I know. I need a mover and a seconder to adjourn the meeting. Moved by Gerald Walker. Seconded by Chris Bishop. He's all moved and seconded. The meeting now being adjourned at 11:15 a.m.